Hi there, my name's Kate Pankhurst from artofstitch.com. You can follow me on Instagram at Kate_artofstitch. Thanks for joining me again. I'm going to show you today my creative box called Speke Hall. You will be able to see this in the flesh, so to speak, at the Knitting and Stitching show, which is at Alexandra Palace between 7th and 10th of October. This year, 2021, and it'll be on display at the Royal School of Needlework stand. So there's quite a few of my things there, so you'll be able to see this. This is called Speke Hall. It's based on a manor house where I grew up, actually, in Speke in Liverpool. There's also, you'll be able to see my Hand and Lock finalist entry. It's a finalist in 2 categories, by the way, not 1 but 2. And it's called Lockdown O'Clock. I'm not allowed to show you all of that. I might give you a sneak peek though. Anyway, but let's go back to Speke Hall Creative Box. Absolutely loved making boxes. The little, you start with doing a very small box, a little one. And I remember the trouble I had with it. My background is as a graphic designer. And so my whole life, everything I did was 2-dimensional. So suddenly getting into 3 dimensions was quite the kind of leap of the imagination and the brain for a start. Once I'd kind of got it though, absolutely fell in love with it. So Speke Hall's not my first box. It's more like my 5th box. So once I'd figured out and been taught, thank you very much, Deb Wilding. So I've been taught how it all works, basically, how to do drawers, lift off lids, all of that sort of thing. But let me just start this this kind of little video that I have made. So, Creative Box, Speke Hall by Kate Pankhurst. Background designer, so I laid it all out in Photoshop and Illustrator to start with. Speke Hall, the real place is a kind of open square. It has a courtyard. This is my workings out for the drawers. There's the roof, so they'll kind of a lot of mitering of the card going on so that you would get these nice steepled roofs. This is it being opened up. There are sort of stitch hinges on this. The embroidery represents the courtyard. There are yew trees in the real courtyard of the house. So this is the embroidery. It also has some stump work. This is fitting together the 2 panels because it goes across more than one wall, if you like. You can see everything coming together. So this is it fully opened. I designed and had printed, this is my design, based on the real Speke Hall, some fabric. And that was designed by me, printed by Woven Monkey, which is a really cool British company that prints on. This is cotton fabric with no stretch. This other fabric I got with bricks and roof tiles. And here's the first compartment. It's a lift-off lid with an interesting roof, as you see, so that fits in nicely there. This is it being made. This is the inside of that compartment you just saw. The interiors are covered in silk because silk, if it's a drawer, it moves nicely. It will slide open. This is a hopper. It's held so it doesn't completely come out. There's a chain in there. This is a lift-out compartment or tray, if you like. There are supports on the inside of that box so that it just occupies the top half, and we have little ribbon pulls to get it out. Yeah, little door, showing a bit of fabric. Oh, this is great. This is the secret compartment holding a rosary. So that in the real Speke Hall had priest holes for hiding illegal Catholic priests. So this represents that. This is a little handmade rosary that I made, and it's in a little silk pouch. Thank you, Helen, for teaching me how to make a rosary. Here's another drawer. So that's pretty much a standard drawer coming out. Or is it? Or is it? Here is the secret compartment. Ah, that's a little scroll. which I made. It has all the whole history of Speke Hall written on that. So that fits in there. And if you didn't know it was there, hopefully you'd never know. So some of the other embroidery is stump work. So I did some ivy growing up the outsides of here, so little ivy. And that's a 3-dimensional embroidery. This is a lift-off lid, sort of fitted lid, so it fits inside that. This is a different sort of lift-off lid. This is called fitted, or fit over, if you like. All silk, and then you can see that there is room for the inside of that lining to fit into the lid of the upper part of it. And here we are, all the compartments are all open, and this is the box being closed up again. Other embroidery includes like little stumpwork dandelions, because I thought it would be nice to have a little dandelion at the front, because everything else is very structural. So there we go. So that's the little movie. I'd like to just, how do I say, I'm just going to go through just a few photographs of the making of all of this. I took an awful lot of photographs as I went, so sorry if this is making your eyes go funny as I go back up to the top here. So quite a way. So this is the real Speke Hall as it is. You can see the Watland door pattern outside. What you can't see is the courtyard, but this is it. And so here are my designs, worked in InDesign and Illustrator to make sure it all fitted together, and that's me working out how the compartments work and the dimensions of the insides, outsides and walls. And this is the embroidery coming together. It's on silk using stranded thread. So the I decided to use a Jacobean crewel work style because it suits the time scale of the house. But it's all in stranded thread, so it's miniature. So lots of chains and little detached chains, etc. Okay, so you can see it coming to, and it also has little stumpwork berries because they're yew trees and they have little berries at a certain time of year. And while I was doing that, this is the printed panels for the exterior. Sorry, that picture looks a bit yellow. I think it's my. That's I've just spread it out on the bed. It was huge once it came in, and you can see that I worked out what design should be on what panel and just got them printed. And then we've got the brick walls and the roof too, which are not my images, but I bought the licenses for those. And here we are putting together one of the walls, so you get pinned onto the card. Lots of pins. This is the back wall of the house. This is, it turns over, and then this is kind of covering a piece of card. This is conservation board, and then we mitre the corners, and then we lace it so that fabric is always tight, doesn't come apart, and that's how it looks from the front. I did some misty fuse to stiffen up some of the silk. As it turned out, I didn't really need it, but it works out quite nicely to just like hold it together. And this is one of the compartments being constructed, the exterior parts of it. You see there's wires. These wires sticking out the bottom went through the base to hold it to the base. So I had that. Be organised, write on your pieces of board what everything is, where up is, because this creative box, not only did it take me 550 hours, but it has over 200 panels in it. This is the embroidery being mounted. So I used a bit of wadding because sometimes it won't, quite a dense embroidery like this won't sit flat on the board. So a bit of wadding is good. There it is being pinned in place, ready to be laced on the, stitched and laced on the back. That's to helps you see what size it is. They're pretty small, these panels. And here it is in construction. Excuse me. That's one of the interiors. These uprights hold the lift out compartment. Yeah, so I'm just going to zip through all of these magnets. This is insertion of magnets. So when the box opens, the two pieces will snap together to hold it open. So there are probably, I don't know, maybe 20 magnets in total in here, matching up the embroideries to the walls. So there's a main one on the back wall and then two on the sides. This is my lovely Andrew drilling holes in handles for me. You can see, yeah. We use a curved needle for doing this. I absolutely love curved needles in the end. Must admit, I was not a fan of them to begin with. This is the insertion of magnets, etc. And hand draw pulls. That's what all of this is. But yeah, curved needles are your friend in this. So there we go. That's one of the panels plus one of the draw pulls. Lots and lots of these. Close up of the mitering that happens. This was the hopper, which was a sort of semicircular pieces. More of it coming together. This is Andrew making a this is a cake box, but he made the dome curved by melting the plastic. It's so I could have somewhere to keep the box while it was under construction, keep the dust off it. So now here we go. He's making it a rounded top from something that was like completely sort of square and rectangular. Yeah, so melts it and then try again with a kettlebell. That's a pan of boiling water. Here we go. So this is the back of the house coming together. Many different parts. And this is the roof. So this is the one with the roof compartment coming together. Just trying to get everything to match and to fit together. So much work. See magnets, work out where they go. Write yourself some notes. So stitching, everything is stitched together. There are, we use a bit of double-sided tape just to in the corners when we're covering the boards, but otherwise everything is stitched together. We end up using an awful lot of thread. And this is the tiny rosary, so the scissors are there for scale. That was great fun. Thank you, Helen Stevens. She very patiently taught me how to do that. And that's the roof compartment. Here we go, just zipping through now. It's great when we get to the front of the box. There's a little stumpwork dandelion. And these are the stumpwork. I prefer the term raised embroidery, actually. So this is the, that was the ivy. Is the front, and then we stitch the ivy to the finished panel. Lots and lots to go. And here we are, the two front levering out pieces are finally done. Very exciting. And then we stitch it all together. This is the bottom of the box. So you can see all of the different compartments have been stitched together where possible, and then wires that are sticking out. And then finally I covered the baseboard. This here, this is the baseboard, and it was stitched to it. We are held together with wires, sandwiched together, and here we go. This is the finished item. Oh yeah, that's another compartment at the back with a fabric hinge to it. So, and there it is. That is Speke Hall. Thank you so much for tuning in to listen to this, and I hope you enjoyed taking a look at Speke Hall, the creative box. Like I said, 550 hours of a labour of love, I can tell you. I've made several boxes, but if you go to the Knitting and Stitch show, you will get a preview of a kit that I'm going to be doing. Fingers crossed, early next year, and it is a bit like Speke Hall, but it's called Tudor Embroidery Toolbox, and it's a really useful little object. So do go along to Knitting and Stitch Show at Ali Pali, 7th to 10th of October. I'm going to be there on the Friday, so I might bump into you. I'll be lovely to. Anyway, have an absolutely wonderful, great weekend and a lovely evening. And yeah, great. Thanks for tuning in. My name's Kate Pankhurst from artofstitch.com.